Welcome everybody to the Serpent Tarot for another pick a card. So today I'm really happy to be again collaborating with the wonderful Griselle from Psychic MD. We've done a couple of other collaborations together that you might have seen. We seem to gel really well together and enjoy doing the collaborations. So when Griselle said, should we do another one? I said, why not? And we decided to get straight to the heart of the matter, no pun intended given the topic, to get to something that's sort of healing and joyous and warm and to the core of us. So we were looking at your heart, and Griselle's going to be looking at what healing does your heart need at the moment, or is it about to sort of go through and build from and get stronger from and so forth. So whatever kind of hurts or lacks or dismay or any of those sort of things around the heart, she's looking at the kind of healing that is now available for you. And I'm looking at what happiness and joy, your heart is ready and open to receive. So you might want to see hers first as the healing and then come to see this. But on the other hand, you could watch mine first if you've come here first to see what your heart is wanting to open to and receive. And then if there's any healing to then be gone through to make that possible, you can actually get that advice from Griselle. So you can do it either way. The link to Griselle's readings is in the description box below, and I very much suggest you do see that. It's very important for us to have a healed heart if it's going to be an open heart. So we do need both sides of this particular coin. So for the choice, I'm using a new oracle deck that I have called the Healing Heart Oracle from Rockpool Publishing. Beautiful deck that looks at different kinds of heart situations and status and so forth. So I shuffled and asked for an energy around the love energy that's coming in. There's another couple of cards from the deck, I don't know what they are, that add extra information around that. Because of the nature of this deck, it may also point to some of the themes that are in Griselle's reading, so we'll see what happens because there is healing energy in this deck as well. So that's there. Plus there's also some archetypes to give a little bit more information about the heart energy that we're looking at. But as I say, we're looking here at what you're ready to receive, the happiness, the joy, the love that you're ready to receive in. And love could be in any number of ways. It could be romantic love. It could be familial love. It could be friendship. It could be, love of colleagues or comrades in arms. It could be anything. So for pile number 1, we have Hungry Heart. It says, awaken the true song of your heart. Number is 24. For pile number 2, we have number 21, the flirty heart. And that says, have fun engaging your alluring nature. And for pile number 3, we have number 5, the trusting heart. Listen to your inner wisdom. So if you feel any of those particular energies are calling to you about the love and happiness that you want to bring in, then that may be the way to choose. By all means, go to more than one reading if you feel drawn to more than one, or if the imagery does it, do whatever you will do to find the reading or readings for you. And when you know, the timestamps are in the description box below, and I'll see you there. Welcome, pile 1, to your reading. So you came to the reading with Hungry Heart. And as I said, the wording here says, awaken the true song of your heart. The other 2 cards that came to give us a little bit more nuance about the happiness and love and joy that you're ready to open your heart to. Firstly, we have Worthy Heart that says you are enough. And then we have Don't Give Up on Love Heart, which says what do you desire? So there is a sort of sense about pitching your desire, your hunger, your appetite for love in whatever way this is. As I say, it doesn't have to be romantic love. It could be any kind of thing. It could be love of friends, family, whatever, towards something you truly want, that you believe that you're worthy of and that you are hungry for now. So this gives me a sense that if it's romantic love, you may have been alone for a while, or you may have felt, given the energy that's around Don't Give Up on Love with the archetype energy of player, that you've been going out with the wrong people, or you've been with someone who won't commit or won't truly love. It's more just about the desire and so forth. So there's a dynamic here about you reclaiming your worthiness, your inner goddess or godhood, so to speak, and that you're meant to be, with the CEO here, the person who determines what love is in your life. So I think there's a real sense here of you taking charge, of knowing You are worthy. I mean, a goddess energy with that. And it's interesting, the colouring for the goddess archetype here is very yellow. So it's very much your sort of solar plexus chakra, your sense of self, your sense of confidence. You're ready to be confident. You're ready to step forward and go after what you're hungry for, whether it's in romantic love or in some other form of love or happiness. And it's coming off the back, as I say, of something that probably was a bit of a test. I think that for most of you, you've either been with one or more people who, in whatever this is, it doesn't have to be romantic love, that it's kind of they were there for the fun of it, or they're a bit of a player, or you could never really know where you stood. And I think it's almost a realization. What I feel with this is a realization that you need to determine who you're attracted to, not who you're attractive to. And what I mean by that is, of course, in any love relationship or in any kind of loving connection, there is a reciprocity. Ideally, both are equally in love if it's romantic, or equally love, even if there's different things that people bring to the relationships. But often, and this is particularly in romantic love, we might respond to those who are attracted to us and feel that gives us our sense of worth. The problem with that is we spend all the time looking for signs they care about us, and we're not thinking about whether we care about them, like whether they're really the right person. So I feel like there's a sort of sense here where you're going, no, actually, I don't need to be worried about that. I'm a god or a goddess. I have a worthy heart, and I want to bring the right thing in, and I want to lead out on this. I want it to be a high value situation. I think also with the CEO here is a sense of a high value rather than just playing around. So I would say for most of you, it'd be interesting to see what you get in Griselle's reading around what you need to heal from, because I think there's been a tendency to be drawn to those who maybe are seductive and flattering and everything. And this is not meant as a criticism. It's something that we're almost trained into doing. But you've realised, that's the really positive message here. You've realised, like, actually, no, that's not worth my time. I want a high value thing that's really what I desire, because I'm worthy of it. So it's a beautiful, beautiful sort of message saying you're ready to do this. And I'd say it's almost through working out what you don't want that you now know what you do want. So, and then we'd probably all say, we want love and all that kind of thing to be high value and committed and all those sort of things if we were to kind of write down on a piece of paper what we're looking for. But often what we're attracted to and what we spend time with doesn't show that. You're shifting to this energy, because I think you've learnt a lesson, pile one. So that's really exciting. So let's have a look with tarot. So we're going to see, given that, what happiness and love is on the horizon for you. We're going to look at how do you best receive it, like how do you open your heart for this? How do you best reciprocate and give that love back? And then we'll just do a little bit of a tilt over to what maybe needs to be healed to connect back to Griselle's reading with the tarot. So firstly, a little bit more about what happiness or love is on the horizon for you, because you're ready to take charge and ready to know that you're worthy of only the best. Pile one. Oh, straight out of the gate, 10 of Cups, 6 of Wands reversed, 9 of Wands reversed, 7 of Cups, Ace of Cups reversed. So, okay. Right out from the gate, you are ready now to have the happiness. Like it's saying, whether it's in happiness in your family, a committed relationship that goes long-term for something like that, all of those sort of things. You're getting ready for that, something that is enduring, something that is expansive, something that, as I say, could be in any type of relationship. It's coming off realizing that you have limited your own energy and limited your own worth. It's time for you to recognize yourself, because it looks like you've almost looked for the recognition of others. As I said, this is what it sort of felt like. This is the kind of walking on eggshells, trying to be what everybody wants sort of thing. And that meant that you're never fully recognizing your own victory, your own passion and so forth. This is a shift to say, no, what do I dream of? Not what everybody else is telling me I should dream of. For some of you, you may actually have been almost nudged towards relationships and connections that were never going to be right for you, and that you actually were the player in because you knew you were never going to really commit to it. That's possible as well, because others said this is what you should do. So there's some shift away from the being really careful to to not shine your light and not to threaten anybody and to kind of get on with everybody, to what do I really want? Because you realize that there's a potential. I do think this is saying that a new love is coming in. I think for most of you, if you're in a very happy love relationship, then it's new emotional connections that are wanting to come in. And it's sort of like maybe your happy love relationship is the only one that this energy isn't sort of coming out in. Like maybe it becomes the prototype. Like this could be saying for some of you, a happy love relationship is the prototype to work out how the other relationships aren't working. But either way, this is about you getting in touch with your own dreams so that you can unlock the promise of the Ace of Cups. So I do think if you're on your own, there is a significant relationship coming in, and it's coming in because you're going to choose who is worthy of you, not the other way around. And if you are in a happy relationship already, there's something about the prototype of that makes you realize this energy that helps you work out other connections where maybe you have not been as committed or others have not been as committed to you. So how do you best receive love and happiness with this energy coming in? Temperance reversed, Three of Swords reversed, Page of Wands, Ten of Pentacles reversed. Okay, the interesting thing here is you almost have to receive it, whether it's a romance coming in or whether it's sort of other things, without expectations of what the long term is going to be, even though I think the promise is here that the long term will work out. But it's like it's just the passion. This is why we had Hungry Heart. Hungry Heart's a very good example of the Page of Wands. What really stirs your passions in one form or another is the thing to go by. Because there are some patterns from the past that you need to let go of that were not in balance. And you may be held on to them because you were worried about the pain. This is saying the way to receive love is to just enjoy the hunger and the passion of it and just know this is what you want to go for. There's old patterns. So it's going to be very important to see Griselle's reading, I think. Old patterns here where you haven't wanted to upset the apple cart. This is really what it feels like. It feels like you've kind of put some of your passion to the side and some of your own love direction to the side to make other people feel happy with you. But it's not, neither you nor they can really commit to that energy. It's just holding off things that need to end. For some of you, you may be in a relationship that's just not going to commit, and to allow this new one in and to allow yourself to receive it, you've got to go with what you want passionately, even if it disrupts the status quo. So it's like the only thing, the Hungry Heart is a very, very important part of this. You just need to go after what would nourish you, because it's like there's something in this where you've got caught up in wanting to prove you could nourish others or something, or be there for others or get the approval or whatever it is. But you're meant to be the goddess. You're meant to be the CEO. And the only way you're going to get that is to focus on your passion. That's your byword. What makes you want to get up in the morning? What makes you feel alive? What makes you feel passionate? That's the thing. Where are you hungry? Because that's going to take you in the right direction. So how best, if you then open that up and then love and happiness is coming to you in whatever form this is, how best can you reciprocate? Because I think you've been almost looking too much at what you put into it, and you've got to demand something now. But once you do that, how then do you balance that off so that you don't, in a sense, become exactly the thing that you're trying to sort of move away from? Judgment, Four of Swords reversed, Eight of Pentacles. Okay. There is something very different in you, and this is like the CEO, the goddess energy. This is why you're worthy. This is why you need to go with your passion. You have some very different skills and understanding about love, happiness, the heart. In actual fact, I think it's probably why you got in this situation. You're meant to have this energy. You're worthy, but you're so good in many ways at keeping the peace, at keeping things balanced, at keeping people happy, that may have taken you to this point. This is you needing to understand that and bring that to the surface and use it to go towards your calling and what you're hungry with. I think for most of you, there's a very strong soul connection that's meant to come in. But you're not going to get it until you realize that it's what's unique and different about you, and that has to be shown rather than conforming to whatever the rules of the game. Like this feels like, those those books that came out a few years ago, like 10 years ago or something, like the rules of the game. Like, this is absolutely not what you're meant to do. You're absolutely meant to just go towards what your passion is, because you're ready for that. There's a calling operating. There's potentially a very strong karmic connection, whether it be romance or something else, meant to come in. And it's you bringing out what is different, worthy about you. You know, if you're going to be a CEO, it's your different skills compared to everybody else that takes you there. And that's what the Eight of Pentacles reversed is all about. The goddess needs to come out. She can't be in hiding. She can't sort of like, the worthiness has to be seen. You have to shine. So this is really you going after what you want and being clear who you are and leveraging your skills. And then the interesting thing is that then becomes the way you reciprocate, because you allow it in the other person and you show other people. So just a couple of cards to connect to Griselle's reading then, because there is some healing operating around this, I think, just for what the healing side of your heart needs to be focused on to make this happen. As a connection to Griselle's reading, to see what she's talking about. So, Empress reversed, Two of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so this may have come from early conditioning with a nurturing parent, probably the mother, but it doesn't have to be. There may have been a example you saw, whether it was your mother or some other nurturing person in your family, that gave you this sense that it's all about being what the partner wants or being what everybody else wants. And it's a suppression of the natural energy, and that stopped you from feeling you could choose. It was making you think, I have to be chosen. This is like flip it all on the, like letting go of this concept that you have to be chosen to be worthy, to know that you're worthy and to go after what you want is the path to this. But there's something from very early programming that's had to do with this. So do definitely see Griselle's reading, because I think that energy will come up and give you some clarity on it. I do think for most of you, you've realised it though. That's why you're ready to do this. But there's still always the possibility of falling back into that, of feeling like, oh, have I pushed it too far? Or do I need to, am I reciprocating in the right way? And it's saying it's in what is different about you, in what makes you a CEO or a goddess, is what in fact is the best way to reciprocate. But this is pretty strong conditioning that made it hard for you to feel you get to choose. It may be as simple as, if you are looking for love, that, if you've always thought, oh, the rules are I can't ask the person out, somebody's got to ask me out, because then I've got to know that they like me. Just ask them out. Just ask them out. Like, turn it on its head. Be the one who's the person going after it and see what happens, because I think you're going to find that opens up your sense of worthiness, opens up that sense of joy. So what we do want to do with this is that we want to say that this isn't just about romance. So I do think for many of you there's a romantic thing here, but for some of you, as I say, that first card might have said you're already knowing that in your most primary relationship. It's just other relationships that we need to look at this. So I want to have a look at your heart energy across lovers, across family, and across friends. And we're just going to look at the energy using firstly the Latin love oracle, which has both romantic and non-romantic energies, but depending upon the nature of the type of relationship I'm talking about, I'll read it in the context of the relationship type. And then I also want to look at some astrology energy around these. So with this hungry, worthy heart that is refocusing on what is passionate to you, so that you move towards being, some of you might move towards being in a power couple or something. Some of you may have been drawn to types who were very much into power and very, very confident, but they kind of did it by making other people not be confident. Whereas you, in your reciprocation, when you go after what you want and you say, do I like this person, and you make the choice, part of what's going to be the choice for you is that these people aren't players, that these people want to lift other people up just like you want to. So let's see here firstly. So a love energy around romantic love for you and your heart at the moment, pile one. Trust. Yeah, no, this is really interesting because it's got a double energy to it, I think. One, you get the sense of the dance and the woman is very trusting. The man's not going to let her fall. So on one hand, it's saying that a beautiful energy is going to come in if you haven't already, or you already have that, and this is the dance and replicating that dance depending upon where you are in your love life at the moment. But there's certainly a sense here that trust is important, but you have to trust yourself. I think this is the other thing, yes, he's holding her up, but her own dynamic movement is also part of the dance. So not feeling always that the other person has to prove, that you are loved enough that you can trust. It's like you've got to trust your own instincts around lovers and recognise your own power. Then when we look at family, so love and your heart energy around your family. Games. Okay, that doesn't surprise me because I feel there's something from family energy here. Mind games and so forth. Maybe sibling stuff as well because it looks like two young kids. Now, at its best, you might have seen the player energy with your family in some way. And as I say, you're not going to replicate that now. You understand it, you can recognise it. And as I say, that this open-heartedness comes from knowing what you don't want. It may also say that once you are feeling strong within yourself, you can be in your family situation and it can be fun because games can be fun as well. So you don't have to take it so seriously because you're very sure of yourself. So I think depending upon who's come to this reading, it could mean either. And then when we're talking about friends, spiritual. Okay, so many of you may find a very strong spiritual connection. Actually, I think I'm going to say if you're looking for love, it's probably going to come through a friend. And there's a very deep spiritual thing. Your own spiritual work with this and doing this healing is going to help bring this in. But it also, I think, shows that you have very spiritual connections with your friends. Your friends are not, by and large, the issue here. It's either patterns you picked up from family or it's stuff in love relationships. But I do think that you could find, if you are looking for someone, the one through friends, and particularly friends who have a similar spiritual energy. So let's have a look at the astrology around it. So the astrology around this trust, where as I say, it's a two-edged sword this. It's like trusting yourself, but also in doing that, choosing the right person that you know that you can trust. Or as I say, that you already have that. And it's like now you need to replicate this across other things for your heart. So the astrology energy is Moon and Mars. So again, this could be either thing, I've got to say. One could be that there already is a very strong emotional energy and passion energy. It's already there. So for any of you that are happy in a relationship, there's nothing about the player in this. You don't have to worry about it. But if you're looking for love, then this is the sort of connection of your emotions with your own sense of dynamism and power. So say the trajectory of, yes, he's holding her up at the moment. But look at this, if you look at the male energy, is actually beneath here. This is the balance. It's like both balance each other. So in the actual dance, if you saw the whole flow, her response would bring her back up and he would then be sort of like, in a sense, made secure by the next move from her. So there is a sense of a dance that is between passion and emotional energy that is getting away from a player. A player would, maybe drop her or she would maybe sort of twirl away. This is getting this into balance. Is a very important part of this. So then when we look at the energy around family, where this could be that this is where you've seen this player energy before, or it could be lightening up in that energy once you're sort of happier around other things with your heart. Get Sun and Saturn. Yeah, this is about responsibility. I wouldn't be surprised with some of you that you actually were almost forced to grow up early. Could be because you came from a broken home. It just could be that your parents were absent because they were always at work. And I'm not meaning to criticise any parents who are trying to kind of provide for their families. But it feels to me like you became very mature very early. So I actually think this game's energy for the most part, unless you're sitting there going, no, there is all this player energy in my family and I'm going to be responsible. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be the CEO. I'm not going to be a player. I think for many of you, this is actually saying that this is to lighten up, to have a bit of fun. Like that in your family, there is the opportunity to do that. Because Saturn can be so severe. At its best, it gives great structure and it gives great maturity. But your life path with games, I think you're meant to shine. And I think it's also coming back to this thing where I'm saying there's something about you. There's something that is very different and the skills are different and that particularly around relationships, the understanding of them is mature for your age or for your circumstances or whatever. So it is there. You are able to do it. I think this is just sort of saying also have some fun. And then the energy around your heart with your friends. is Sun and Mars. Oh, isn't that? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm calling this. If you are looking for love, if that's the reason that you got drawn to this reading, for instance, you're going to find it through friends. And this is all about you knowing, and maybe that makes a lot of sense, because if you're kind of just going on dating apps, or, you know, you're at a bar and somebody comes and buys you a drink or whatever it might be, everything is predicated on someone coming to you and choosing you. And it's what I'm saying, this is not the energy you're meant to do now. You're meant to choose. I think you're going to connect, and it's a very profound connection through mutual passion with someone who's a friend. So they're a friend first. I don't think they'll be a friend or just a friend for very long. Now, if you are already in a relationship and you're happy, then you may actually help other people in your friendship circle get to this balance that you already have, and it may be part of your life path. A better way of using it than just being very disciplined, being more about helping other people open up their passion in some way. Beautiful. So I thought it would be good to get the balance of the divine masculine and divine feminine around this. And I didn't know ahead of doing that we were going to get sort of Mars both with the moon and with the sun. But let's do that. So let's look over here with the moon with the divine feminine, over there with the sun with the divine masculine. This is just some other energy around your heart to really let this happiness in. I think you're meant to be having a lot more fun with family, having really deep, wonderful connections with your friends. And if you're looking for love, finding a very deep, spiritual, loving relationship. So very, very good news. Let's see the divine feminine energy for you. Bodhisattva, unity. Oh, that's really interesting again with this sort of dance. It's also interesting with where you're coming from to get to this sort of like greater happiness. The male energy. Maui, discovery. Okay. That's very interesting, actually, because there's something. Maui is a very interesting god. He's a bit Promethean in as much as he brought fire to his people, but unlike Prometheus, he was very clever and he was able to use fire in a way that really helped the people, and he didn't end up having sacrificed himself. So there's a thing about the cleverness. This is the CEO energy. This is the really strong male energy, because even Bodhisattva, she was a warrior. So this is really about you. This is why the CEO was there. It doesn't matter what your gender is here. It's not about gender. There is something about the action, the initiating energy of Mars in both these things. This is to bring an equal in. While you are around players and you're just sort of worrying about whether you're fitting in with them, you're not unleashing your own incredible sort of passionate energy, power and ingenuity. When you turn the tables and go, I choose, then you open up that you get the right connections across any of these things, and you help others. This is a spiritual sort of thing, and you bring a passion to others. I think whatever you do with this, you're going to actually teach by example other people. But there's a very strong sense of like owning your own inner divine masculine for this that allows you to open up your passion and so forth. So that's very, very beautiful. So what I want to finish with is a couple of things. Firstly, I want to get you a couple of blessings and messages from the Enchanted Forest, and then I want to get you a couple of affirmations from the Serpent of the Rose Oracle. So they're just the last messages here around you being able to receive happiness, joy, love into your heart now. So firstly, we get you decide. Look at that. You decide. When you give yourself freely, you expand your energy. If you only give to get, it will feel like a burden or drain. Be genuine. Give from your heart. You decide. This is not someone choosing you. This is you choosing. It's a very, very powerful message for you. In whatever relationship we're talking about, whatever would make your heart happy, you decide. And simplify life. Life is meant to be simple and easy. Don't let superficial energies distract you from your true essence. Simplicity and purity will lift your heart. There's a couple of ways that plays out. Firstly, player energy can make things complex and difficult when in fact it's really simple. What do you most desire? And there's a sense here too of fun. So I think there's something around family patterns. Either you've got a very good family to start with, and that's why we had the 10 of Cups, in which case just enjoy that as a prototype. Or if there's patterns that you need to move with that, simplifying it, making it fun is a way to do it. Okay, so we're just going to get a couple of affirmations for you from the Serpent of the Rose Oracle. So firstly we have, I am pregnant with possibilities. Yeah, there's so much that you can do. If you start to believe you have it all, you know, that's why you decide. You can move forward and draw in what you want. And I allow my light to shine. Yeah, all this light energy. Beautiful. So I hope that resonates for you, Pile 1. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If so, please like the video and subscribe. Do go and see Griselle's reading, because I think there is a pattern here, a healing that will help you, a greater aha moment around some of those things. But I think you're also primed to go after what you most desire and achieve it. So comment below if you would like. I'd love to hear. Otherwise, I hope to see you in future readings. Welcome, Pile 2, to your reading. So you came to the intriguing, flirty heart, which said, have fun engaging your alluring nature, which made me think there was probably something here about lightening up and enjoying life and just being a little bit more casual as a way to let happiness and joy back in. And I think that's true, but I also think that there may be a sort of side of you wanting to bring that into better balance, because we also have remorseful heart, forgive and move ahead, and healing heart, face your shadows and grow. And then we have your intuition being the guide that you use, and it's pretty on point around, you know, flirting, having fun, letting all that in. And so your intuition to enjoy yourself is the right intuition, but I feel there's someone that you may feel a bit guilty that you hurt. Or you may be aware that you've drawn an admirer in that you're not going to be serious with in the way that they are. And I think there's a sort of side of you that's thinking like, you know, should I be doing that? And that comes from a healing, and so it'll be very interesting to see Griselle's reading here around your sense of nurturing and caring for others. So I think the message is going to be in this reading about that it's okay to have fun and it's okay to have joy and happiness. But what you'll need to do is approach the people that you're having, whether it's in like romance or anything else, with a light touch, but also understanding that others may be seeing much more in it. And so having that kind of sense of nurturing and kindness as well, because it's almost like you don't want to carry guilt. You want to be able to enjoy yourself for the moment. And a lot of that might be about clarity. It'll be interesting to see what the tarot says, because it may just be that you have a very good sense of when you have an admirer, and you'll have a very good sense of when that could become something where you need to nurture or care for them and help them heal. So you're almost like someone who, with some people, may draw the hurt and that sort of person to you. Actually, you may draw people who are looking for healing, caring, nurturing. It's a very lovely nature. It's like there's nothing in this set of cards that is dismissive of people, but I think it's kind of like at the moment you're not necessarily looking for the one. Now you could already have found the one, and you just might be someone whose beautiful nurturing nature draws a lot of admirers. You can sense that, and so then you're having to sort of accept the happiness of people caring about you in a very careful way so that you don't crush their dreams. Or you could be someone who's not in a relationship, you don't want to be in one at the moment, but you want to have fun, and there's nothing wrong with that. You want to enjoy life at the moment, but you need to kind of then work out how you manage this so that you're not feeling that you're misleading people in some way. So it could be either. I think there's some patterning too, maybe from your childhood, from your nurturing, that is coming into this. So it's sort of like one part of you, if you are at the stage of your life, you just want to have fun. There's a side that would be going, yeah, I want to do that. But it's sort of remembering caring and remembering responsibility. So it's like you kind of like you enjoy the time, but if you're not going to commit, you then end up sort of feeling really sad about it later. So there's some sort of pattern here for you. So let's see with tarot. It's an interesting set of cards. So let's see firstly what happiness and love and joy is on the horizon for you now. Then we're going to have a look at how do you best receive that? How do you best reciprocate? Which I think for you might be a balance of not sort of having people think something is more than what you can give at this point in time. And then we'll also do a couple of cards to connect over to Griselle's reading around what healing in your heart is necessary for this. So firstly, just a little bit more to explain what this set of cards is talking about. Eight of Wands reversed, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, the Hierophant reversed, Strength. I've got to say, like, I think this is primarily about love, as in romantic love. I mean, it could fit other things, but I think it's primarily about romantic love. I think you'll know if this is your reading, because this is definitely, there are many people who admire you and are coming in. Like, this is part of the love and happiness that's coming in. There's you've had a glow up, whatever it is, or you've just always been very attractive to others. But you don't want to settle down at the moment. And there's nothing wrong with that. You want to enjoy it and build your own strength and build something for yourself. But it's like the passion that you can feel and the joy in it is being slowed down a bit because of the intensity of the people around you. Like, I feel like there's one, what is interesting about this deck, what I really like in this deck is the page is shown as this older guy, right? But like, the page is normally less mature. And what I think this beautifully says is that it doesn't matter what age someone is. In emotional matters, in anything, we can be more or less mature. I do feel this is saying that there may be at least one person who's an admirer around you where you're going to have to tread very carefully, because they're not sort of, they're very vulnerable to you. And you may it may even bring out a kind of mother type energy where you want to heal them, but you may not be able to, because if you're the person that they fall in love with and you're not in love with them, then you're probably not going to be the person who can heal them. So I think there's sort of something around that. And I think you're just unconventional. You don't want to do the conventional thing at the moment. Because as I say, you're finding your own strengths. And it's a good time to do that. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, like, you're meant to have the joy of having fun here without feeling guilty about it later, or feeling that you've somehow let people down in some way. So, but this is definitely an energy where there's a lot of kind of, you're attractive to a lot of people, and it's how you deal with that energy. So let's see how you best receive the love and happiness, given that you want it like unconventionally, you want it as fun. I mean, it could also be that sometimes you're just having fun with friends or whatever, and you love your friends, but they fall in love with you. So what do you do? Because it's not, you don't want that right now. So I don't think this is, or, you know, you are in a very happy relationship already. That's sorted out. Everything else that you're having fun with is not about romance, but other people see it that way. There's something like that going on. So let's see how you best receive at the moment this happiness and joy that you know you deserve and you're supposed to get. 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords, 6 of Cups reversed, 5 of Swords reversed. I think Spirit's trying to almost turn on the head even what I'm trying to do here, because I think Spirit's really saying that for you to have the happiness and the flirty, having fun and going with your intuition and being able to be a bit different and all that kind of thing, there's a lot of possessive energy around you. So there's something about not being too nostalgic about things, but equally not giving up on the freedom that you want. I mean, some of you might have actually just recently committed, and there might be a side of you that's not entirely sure if commitment was what you wanted to do. That's a possibility. But it's saying, like, don't give up on, you know, the love that you have brought in, but there's something here about how you balance that out with a kind of wish for sort of freedom. So for some of you, there's a real issue here about how you accept love and happiness without feeling that it limits you in some way. But there's something, I think you attract a lot of people to you, and I think you attract a lot of possessive energy. So it's like you're trying to get to have fun and just lighten up a bit. And you've got to kind of understand, I think this is what it's saying, you've got to understand this energy doesn't give up easily. You've got to kind of almost be not sentimental about it. In fact, you've got to not be the mother. I think that's actually what it's saying. If you're going to accept and bring in the joy and happiness that could come from having like nice, flirty, fun relationships, which you don't have to be too serious about, and just like that's the stage of your life because you're trying to build things for yourself, or you've just come out of a constrictive relationship and the last thing that you want is to go back into it, then the important thing is that you need to know that your heart needs to heal from the sense that you have to care for everybody, and that therefore if you break someone's heart, you've got to kind of make up for it. You've got to own your own strength. So, okay, given that, how best do you reciprocate, you know, love, happiness with others in this energy to get past this sort of possessive guilt, you know, kind of guilt-tripping energy around you. 9 of Wands, 3 of Wands reversed, Knight of Swords. Okay, I think it's just saying that you have to just keep on with doing what you want to do. 9 of Wands, you're closer to the kind of energy that you want than you think. You have to be prepared that things are of short duration, that you're not offering something of long duration, and being really clear about that, so it's not a surprise. So it's just, and if it's not about romance, then, it's about friendships, working together, whatever it is. It's like you've got to kind of make it clear that you're here for the energy, the passion, the fun or whatever, but it's not a long-term thing, and you're not going to kind of surprise someone. It's not going to be a shock when you move on. Like right from the beginning, the rules have to be clear. But it's hard because you are naturally very nurturing. It's one of the reasons why people are falling in love with you or being drawn to you. It's an interesting dynamic. So just a couple of cards to connect you to Griselle's reading. I think it's going to be very important you see her reading, because I think there's something really that does need to be healed here so that you can't, as I say, I feel like you get guilt tripped. So we have the Empress, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, there's something about the nurturing energy and what that means in terms of commitment. What you feel your responsibility is there when you're maybe not ready to commit. What does that mean? So I think that for you to be able to bring happiness in, you do actually have to be in this flirty situation, but you have to step away from this feeling that you owe everybody whatever they need in their heart. They've got to look after themselves, just like you've got to look after yourself. Yeah, it's complicated. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Latin Love Oracle, and we're going to look at the energy of what happiness is coming in. Because I think the happiness is the freedom you want. I think you just have to be aware of the pressure you're going to have, because you draw people to you who want something from you that you maybe are not in a position to give. So let's see how this works with lovers, with family, and with friends. So firstly, the energy around lovers. Hospitality. Yeah, you see, you're not, I feel like when you see hospitality, it's like I'm welcoming you into my home for a period of time, but just for a period of time. I'm not saying this is your home too. So I think for most of you, I mean, either you already have a love relationship and these other people coming in can't disturb it. You'll be hospitable, but you're not going to be anything more. Or it's you're putting some boundaries around this. I'm going to live alone, or there's going to be times I'll be very polite, I'll be very nice, but I'll be very clear about what my energy is around lovers and how close you're allowed to get and for how long. Okay, then when we look at family, heartbreak. Maybe you saw something in your family where people were heartbroken and you just feel like you have to kind of always heal everybody. There is something like that. There was some loss in your family, if you saw one of your parents being heartbroken. Or it may be that your family, if you're wanting to do something really different and live a very different, unconventional life from what your family want, you might find you're getting emotional blackmail from them because they're going, oh, you're breaking my heart. Like, it's interesting. There's a very interesting energy around this pile too. Let's have a look at friends. Toxic. Oh my goodness. So there's some friends that are kind of obsessed with you, I'd say. Other friends that might be toxic and trying to tell you you're doing everything wrong and telling you, you're not allowed to have fun and you should be, settling down and you should be doing whatever this is. There's a lot of people getting in your head about what they want you to do. What this is trying to say to you is that you're meant to get back into your passion and your heart and have a bit of fun and lighten up about it, because there's a lot of pressure being put on you. So let's see the astrology around each of these. So going back to the lover energy, Sun and Chiron. Yeah, there's something to be healed there. Your life path is healing. Like, the interesting thing about this healing heart, I think there's actually a clue here, because I think it's saying that your life path around your heart is to be a healer. And a healer lets sort of people in close for a period of time, and then they need to go and be healthy. It's like there's a period of time between ill health and health. So instead of being the mother looking after them all the time, it's like it's getting to that point where your energy, your heart, your love or whatever helps them heal rather than makes them dependent on you. And this is playing out around lovers. So at the moment, it's like, I think it's sort of saying it's not the right time to look for the one. Unless you, as I say, already have the one, and this is just other people who want love from you, but what you're trying to give them is healing. Okay, then the energy around your family. Mercury and Jupiter. Okay. At its best, that could sort itself out. Good communication brings expansive joy, all that kind of thing. But I do think, given we got heartbreak, I think there's too much talk from your family about who you should be. I think Jupiter is excessive here. I think they get into your head. So, and I think that you had to be young, you had to be old, very young, something like that. So I think there's like understanding the programming, the kind of almost things that were said to you. It's a thing you need to understand to let the love that you're looking for and the happiness that you're looking for come in. And then around the friendship energy, Sun and Pluto, yeah, you've got to change and shift a lot of stuff. If things are toxic, you need to kind of blow that all out, basically. And it's an evolutionary and revolutionary energy when you have Pluto. So your life path is different and it's transformative. And at its best will heal other people and help other people, including your family, get a clearer idea about how they want to grow and be happy. But there's some big changes that occur first. And there's a lot of power struggles with friends for some reason. I think a lot of them are probably jealous of you. I think you're incredibly charismatic, incredibly attractive. And it has its own issues, which is what you're dealing with, which is why your heart is wanting to have some joy now. And Spirit is saying you deserve to have the joy. So, okay, let's see how we get your divine feminine and masculine imbalance to help with your heart. So firstly, an energy around your divine feminine. Sirens, temptation. Oh my goodness. See, yeah, you are. You really are attractive. And if you felt you weren't before, boy, are you going to be. And you just need to understand what this is going to do. Because I just think there'd be a lot of people trying to say you were being a siren, you were drawing people in, you weren't behaving correctly, and that's not right. You're actually meant to be able to have a bit of fun and explore yourself at the moment. But boy, people are trying to put sort of almost a reputation on you. And then the divine masculine energy around you. Set chaos. Oh, wow. Yeah, look, you guys have been dealing with some pretty big stuff. This is why you are actually supposed to be able to just have a bit of fun now. But boy, people see you as this force of nature. And they don't understand, I think. I think there are people around, friends and family or whatever, don't understand. And there are people who fall in love with you and it's not what you're trying to give them. This is why you have to be very, very strong about what you're creating out of this so that you don't draw in too much sort of obsessive, energy to you. It's a difficult thing. But I think, you can do it. It's something, I actually think the clue is around something to do with family patterns and understanding those and switching them up a bit. So let's get you some positive affirmations to end with. I want to get a couple from the Enchanted Forest and then a couple from the Serpent of the Rose Oracle for you. Because this is a bit challenging. I didn't expect it to be this challenging. But having said that, I think you are meant to be happy and you're meant to have some fun. But you need to understand how to manage that because how other people are going to respond. So from the Enchanted Forest, we get firstly, you are doing enough. Right now is a time to balance everything you dream of with the actions required to succeed. Be gentle. You are doing better than you know. So yeah, don't let people tell you what you're doing is wrong. You are doing enough. You don't belong to everybody else to fulfill their emotional dreams, pile 2. And simplify life. This came up for someone, another reading. Life is meant to be simple and easy. Don't let superficial energies distract you from your true essence. Simplicity and purity will lift your spirit. Yeah, This is like a weight trying to drag you down, but you're meant to have fun. And that's a really strong message. So let's get you just a couple of affirmations to support that. Firstly, I live my life with joy. Yeah, people are trying to make you responsible for their joy. Just live life with your joy. That's all you're required to do. And I choose to release the old to make space for the new. And it's interesting that falls over there. I think friendships and connections and patterns where you've taken on too much, it's time to let that go. So I hope that that resonates for you, pile 2. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If so, please like and subscribe. Do go and see Griselle's reading. I think it's really important because I do think there's some distinct healing that needs to occur so that people can't overwhelm you with their desires or make you feel guilty for not meeting those desires. You're meant to be able to meet your own and have your own joy. And I think her reading will help you with that. Beyond that, I hope to see you in future readings. Welcome, pile 3, to your reading. So you came to the reading with Trusting Heart, and that says, listen to your inner wisdom, which I think is a really good benchmark for this whole reading because it's quite clear, and I do think it'll be very important for you to go to Griselle's reading if you haven't already. This is you coming into who you're meant to be and balancing the sort of sense of your own flair and vibrancy with almost like a cause or a mission or a sense of purpose. And it comes after, I think, great emotional sadness because we have Leo here around the trusting heart. It's coming into who you are. And it's a great sort of like generosity of spirit with Leo and a sense of being seen. You're meant to be seen. So there's something in all of this is being able to trust yourself to move forward with your mission, with who you are, with how you present yourself. And there's something performative and there's something dramatic and there's something visible with this. But it's like it's the energy here, the joy is meant to come in for you to trust that you can do this after you felt that something didn't work. It's here with performer, so this energy of I think that you're seen, like I think there's something here, like, and seen can mean anything. It can just be seen amongst your family and friends, or it could be seen on the world stage. But there's something very dramatic here, and you're very charismatic. There's a charismatic energy, but you're recovering here, recovering heart. Step onto the road to the deeper healing. So there's almost as though you've been on a journey around your heart and your love and how you can follow a very, very higher cause with the Knight here. This is not just kind of wanting to be on stage and have everybody adore you. This is you've got a cause. You've got, you're very romantic actually, and very expressive with it and very charismatic. But it's all about love and on a big ticket level and the right love and all that kind of thing. And there's just a sense here that you may have been disappointed. You might have drawn in the wrong person or you might have been misunderstood. Some people might have thought, when you were really truly about love that you were being very kind of shallow and performative or narcissistic. I mean, you're not at all. But like there's a possibility with this because there's a kind of a mix of charisma and cause. So there's something you're getting over. And here around this cause, you've got hurt heart, I see you. I think for most of you, in fact, what this is that you are looking for the great love or the great cause or the love of humanity. It depends on what level this is at and where you are in your love life and all that kind of thing. But I think what this is showing is that if you trust the loyalty and the warmth of your soul, if there was sort of either something that wasn't what it appeared, and that's the other way we could read performer, you might have been sort of like with someone and they didn't turn out to be what they said they were, or it could be that you're recovering from people presuming things about you that weren't true, that it wasn't all a performance or an act, there was something very deep here. I think you see someone who's also been hurt in life, and that's the cause. What beautiful thing is coming in is trusting the warmth and generosity of your spirit to see someone and lift them up in some way. So I feel like it's like the knights of old finding fair maidens sort of thing, that kind of energy of you've had your own hurt and you've been misunderstood. And I think you may very well, out of things like jealousy or whatever, have been attacked for the very thing that is actually the most pure in you. But I think you see someone else. I mean, she even looks like she's up in a castle waiting to be rescued, doesn't she? Like there's that sort of energy. So I feel like this is the love, the happiness, the joy is that you're going to find someone who you can heal together with. And if you trust your instincts, that comes in because you really have such a lovely heart yourself. But I just think it's been misunderstood. I think you've been mischaracterized. So That's interesting. And it will be important to go to Griselle's reading to sort of, because there's such a sense about recovering to get you to be able to trust and move forward here. So let's use tarot. So in tarot, I'm going to have a look at a little bit more about the happiness and love and joy that's coming in now that your heart's ready to receive. Then we want to have a look at how you best receive it, how you best reciprocate or share with others. And I think we have a clue there. And then we'll also do a couple of cards to connect to Griselle's reading about what healing is necessary or has occurred to allow this. So firstly, just a little bit more about what this is about. The Devil reversed, the King of Cups, Page of Wands reversed, 10 of Pentacles reversed, 7 of... Wow, this is kind of mythic, I have to say. Isn't it, with the Knight there and so forth? Like you've got like the Devil reversed. This is like freeing something. I think in doing it, you free yourself too, to follow your passion and your heart. But I think that you're like a knight. You are, and you're very brave. Even though you've been hurt, you're very brave. You heal others as well as, healing yourself. But there's been some disapproval of your charisma, of your performance, of whatever it is. There's been some disapproval of your passion, probably like either by family or by those who, have some material way of kind of, like a boss in a workplace or a teacher in a school or something. There's just been something that's like responded to you and not seen who you really were at all. And this is inviting you to trust your mission, that you are here to liberate and heal someone else, which in doing it, you actually heal yourself. Beautiful. Very, very Arthurian. So let's have a look at how best you receive this joy once you realize it, because I think you've had people misunderstand you and misrepresent you, I've got to say. You have a very, very pure heart. So how do you best receive this? How can you open this trusting heart? How can you see the other person? How can you find the other party or if you're already happily in love and this is about friendships and or whatever, your comrades in arms, like how do you receive this gift from your heart? 9 of Cups reversed, Page of Swords, the Lovers, 9 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, this is, again, it's saying that there's been something very disappointing. Speaking up about that. Not being silent about that. Also, if you've met someone, if you've seen someone, speaking up, because you're not meant to be alone. You're not meant to be alone. So this is about not letting the fire be extinguished anymore. And there's a choice. If it's not a choice about lovers, it's a choice in relationships. It's a choice not to be alone. This is like saying, I'm not going to be alone. I am going to find my person. Even if I've been misrepresented, misunderstood, other people have tried to keep that down, and I've had some pain that I need to recover from, I'm going to speak out about what I want, which is that I don't want to be alone. I want the love. I want the connection. I want to be able to trust. So it's just really proclaiming to the world that, yeah, I'm going to do it. I don't care what you say, I'm going to do it. Because there's like naysayers or jealous people or something around this. So let's see, how do you best reciprocate if you then see the person you're connected in, or the people, as I say, if this isn't about a romantic love. 5 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles reversed. There's something in this, because we've got the Knight energy, there's something in this where there is a battle, but I think it's understanding that the battle is smaller than it needs to be. You make the battle smaller for somebody else. You let them start to develop themselves in their own capacity. And you don't have a requirement for a particular outcome. This is done just from your heart. Now, I think for most of you, it will have an outcome that builds, but that's not the point. You're seeing this person and you're rescuing them from the tower, so to speak. And that's how you reciprocate. You do it by lessening their conflict, helping them focus on what they want, and not sort of like putting any demands on it other than that they do that. I think for most of you, if this love relationship, you'll end up with the person. But I think there's a sense of people have thought you were doing something for yourself, but you're actually very selfless. So just the way you connect with this will show it. So let's just get a couple of cards to show the connection to Griselle's reading. The Fool, the Sun reversed. Yeah, it's a kind of innocent thing, you know. The Knight is in many ways innocent, you know, Arthurian sort of energies around that. And to understand that something has suppressed your life path, your light, all that kind of thing, but to be willing to go forward again anyway, because you're going to recover. You know, you're going to see someone else. It's going to be, in rescuing someone else, you rescue yourself. That's basically what this is saying. So let's have a look at how it plays out across different relationships. So we're going to have a look at lovers, family, and then friends. So firstly, how this sort of energy for you, trusting again and finding the one that is worthy of your heart and worthy of your knighthood in a way. Protection. Yeah, you're a protector. I think this is also saying you're going to be protected now. Something unfair's happened. You've been really misunderstood, misrepresented, gossiped about something. I don't know what it is, but it's something like that. And your heart is so pure. You are very protective. You'll be very protective of anybody you love. But I also think as a result of that, you will have a very strong protection from spirit guides and even from the person that you love. So that's beautiful. It's a very fiery, warm energy. What about family? Offering. That's interesting. Part of the bedrock of this very giving side of you and this knight-like energy, I think might have been that you were brought up to believe that in a sense there needed to be an offering to the family and to others. And I think for some, your offering will be beautifully accepted. For others, they don't see it for what it is. I just think there's a kind of a dissonance around people around you. But nevertheless, your offering is pure. And around friends, money. Oh, that's interesting. There may be something like money could work in a couple of ways for you. I mean, one could be very positive, that friends will be a way for you to sort of make money, to build sort of wealth, to build businesses and everything. It could just be saying that for some, friendships are very material and they're very positive. For others, there may be almost a kind of a competition or an issue around money, or thinking, it's possible for some of you that friends may think if you've sort of found someone but that person is well off or whatever, that's what it's about, but it's not. It's very pure. So it depends. It's going to depend on who comes to this reading. Let's have a look at the astrology energy to see how these are playing out. So around the lover energy with the protective energy for you, we have Venus and Jupiter. Yeah, love is very protective. Love is very beneficent. You have a really lovely heart. And I think this is saying trust your intuition, trust all of that. You are going to connect to the right person. Like, I think this is pretty much a guarantee of that. No matter what else has happened before, that is meant to be a very beneficial part of your life. The energy around family with your heart. Mercury and Mars, yeah, I think there's debates, there's arguments, there's power struggles, all of that kind of thing. I don't think all of your family understand you. But then again, I think some would like it and would talk to you about moving on and following your heart and following your passion. So it kind of depends. But some are going to get what you are offering to the family. Others are going to dispute it on some level. And then around friendship, Moon and Saturn. At its best, you and friends could make quite a lot of money. You really could. You really could. At its worst, you may feel that the emotional support is sometimes always restricted by material concerns. So some of you may be, like as I say, it feels almost like a celebrity. Like if you're a celebrity, you might be around lots of other celebrities and there's lots of money and all that sort of stuff, but there isn't a lot of emotion potentially. And you're very pure of heart, and maybe a lot of the others around are more like, okay, the performance, the love, all those sort of things are transactional. So that it kind of depends on what we're talking about here. So it could work very, very well for working with people who are friends, but it could also make you feel like a lot of the connections with friends is a bit transactional and not emotional. So I feel like it's really saying this is the area where the reward is coming for you. But you just need to work out how to use these energies as well, because I think you're going to be successful. I think you've got a pure heart, and how people respond to that, you need to kind of be aware of it, I think, pile 3. So let's have a look at the balance of divine masculine and feminine given that. So firstly, the divine feminine sort of energy for you receiving happiness and joy in your heart. Valkyries, redemption. That's interesting. Yeah, it's coming out of something. It's really been unfair, I've got to say, but you are coming out of it. The next love, the next connection, the next friendship, the next relationship, whatever it is, it's like people are going to see. They're going to see, and they're going to see that power and the fact that you're ferociously going after what is right and very protective. The divine masculine energy. Wow, this came up for one of the others, set chaos. Yeah, something needs to break apart. You might actually have to get a bit angry, actually, with whoever's done this. But you also need to be prepared to step into the unknown. But it's a very strong redemptive arc if you felt that you were unfairly, and I think you probably were unfairly sort of viewed or judged. That's going to shift. This energy is going to shift big time. There's a big change coming through so that you can connect to your purpose. So just trust that. So that's why we had trusting heart to start with. Okay, so I want to finish with some like messages and affirmations. So firstly, a couple of messages from the Enchanted Forest to also help your heart receive happiness and joy, pile 3. Life source. When life comes to a standstill, turn inward and focus on joy and excitement. Your inner light keeps everything alive and moving. So yeah, something might have come to a standstill. I just think people would try to repress your own passion, your love, your drive. Going within was a thing I think that would have helped you heal. And you are complete. You are not broken. Nothing is wrong with you. Don't spend your life fixing problems. Dwell in the beauty of your being. You are enough now and always. Yeah. You're going to move past whatever this unfair assessment was. You really are. And you're going to find like love or companionship, whatever it is that you're looking for to make your heart joyous. And you deserve that because, as I say, you've always had a very, very pure heart. Let's just get you a couple of affirmations to complete the reading. So firstly, I live my life with joy. Yeah. Trust. Go towards the joy. Go towards the dream. Go towards the cause, because like that's all that matters. You're authentic. You are complete. You're enough. Your own life source is bright. And I allow my light to shine. Yeah, don't let anybody stop it. Because it's beautiful. You have a really beautiful heart. But jealous people or people who didn't understand have been an issue. But like the gift here is that you're moving past that. You're understanding it. But do go and see Griselle's reading, because I do think of all the 3, this is one that needs quite a bit of healing for you to be ready to be able to fully trust and enjoy this gift from your heart. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope it resonated. If so, please like the video and subscribe. If you care to share in the comments, I'd love to hear. Otherwise, I hope to see you in future readings.